Welcome to Zandvoort. Welcome to the third weekend for the ADAC Formula 4 Germany. We've been to Spa, we've been to Hockenheim. Now we are at the Zandvoort circuit, our third consecutive iconic Formula 1 venue on the calendar for this 2022 season. And it is, no surprises, one Andrea Kimi Antonelli on pole position for this one in what was a tricky session for the drivers earlier on. You've got bright sunshine here by the North Sea coast now, but in qualifying this morning it was a lot of rain and a lot of slippery slidey moments for just about everyone out there on the circuit. No one is infallible when on slicks in the wet. And I think just about everybody found that out. There is Andrea Kimi Antonelli, the Mercedes junior driver for Prema Racing. It is once again an all Prema front row of the grid, because next to him is the number 88 car. That is Rafael Camara. He, of course, the leading rookie this year and also second in the championship. He is having such a strong first season in Formula 4 competition. I say it's a first row lockout. It's a top four lockout for the Prema Racing drivers here with Wharton and Larsen on the second row of the grid. Conrad Larsen, the Dane, just behind James Wharton, the Australian competitor. Of course, hasn't been plain sailing for all parties at Prema. You may remember at Spa that Wharton and Wirtz actually collided with each other. That allowed Charlie Wirtz to drop well out of the sharp end of the order with a broken front wing. Of course, also at Spa, we didn't have the pleasure of Van Amersfoort Racing joining us. They are here now. They had their cars delivered very, very late before the start of the ADAC F4 season, so now they get to join us, albeit as non-point entries this weekend. But a star-studded lineup, as always, for the ADAC Formula 4 Championship. Three sons of former F1 drivers there. We've got Emerson Fittipaldi Jr., the son of Emerson Sr., of course, the two-time Formula 1 world champion. Brando Badoa, the son of Luca, and Charlie Wirtz, the son of Alex Wirtz. Here's the grid in full then. Andrea Kimi Antonelli alongside Rafael Camara, the 12 and the 88. Let's see what Antonelli can do this time. James Wharton in third position alongside Conrad Larsen on row 2. Martinius Stenshorn and Emerson Fittipaldi Jr. on row 3. Maya Verg and Nikita Bedrin on row 4 of the grid. Row 5 for Taylor Barnard. He's alongside Charlie Wirtz. Row 6, Valentin Klus and Rasmus Jutsmies, the 19 and the 24 cars. Michael Sauter in the family-run car alongside Nat Hadvid, Biron Bakhti, Brando Badoa and Jonas Reed on row 8 of the grid. 17th and 18th place for Jules Castro and Arias Doikmedjian. And then rounding out the order in 19th place, Samir Ben of Yenza Motorsport. So as always, an interesting mix of drivers, and it has been a compelling season and the dawning, surely, of a bright new star in the world of racing in the form of Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Not to discount Rafael Camara either. The two of them have a huge advantage over the chasing pack in the championship. Coming into this one, 137 points for Andrea Kimi Antonelli, 109 points for Rafael Camara. Not too much in it between the two of them, 28 points. You then have to go back a further 51 points to find Taylor Barnard on 58, who sits third in the championship. It has been all about Antonelli and Camara anywhere you go in Formula 4 racing across Europe this year, and it's no different in the ADAC Formula 4 Germany. The cars then lining up on the grid of this 2.6 mile, 4.2 kilometer circuit, 14 corners. Quite a few of them, of course, are banked these days, and that means that we should get some great side-by-side action at various points here. The world-famous Zandvoort circuit carved into the dunes here beside the seaside. And it's going to be fabulous racing. As always, the ADAC F4 Germany is go, and it's a great start from everyone on the front row. Charlie Wirtz doesn't get going at the back of the grid. Thankfully, everybody misses him, but it is Andrea Kimi Antonelli that leads the way. Around the outside for third there goes Conrad Larsen, and he's just about given space by his Premier colleague Walton in the 13 car. So up into third place there goes Conrad Larsen, and a big moment there for Emerson Fittipaldi Jr. He takes the shallow line through turn 3 as a result of that Hugenholt bend. And then Rob Slottermacher corner awaits them, turn 6, bouncing over this rough and ready surface at that point of the circuit at Zandvoort. Around this first lap they go with a familiar driver leading the way. That is Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Rafael Camara in second place. Contact between the 41 and the 33. That was Brando Badoa involved in that one. It's not Badoa in the wall, though. Unfortunately, it's Jonas Reed who has come unstuck there with the collision at turn 8. It was a bold move from Brando Badoa. Has he sustained damage in that one? Certainly. We've got one car in the wall, as you saw. Jonas Reed going no further. Yellow flags covering the incident for the time being, but will we go under safety car? Yes, we do. No sooner did I mention it than it arrived. So then, first lap, always tricky here at the Zandvoort circuit, and often there is a lack of space, and sometimes collisions like that can happen. And Brando Badoa in the 33 car ending up alongside Jonas Reed. I don't know if Reed was fully conscious mentis of the fact that Brando Badoa was on his inside, and they met in the middle on the apex. Badoa continues on, though. I don't think he has any particular damage to speak of. In fact, he profited overall. He's up to 12th place from his 14th place starting position in that one. And it's just good to see now that getting out of the car is Jonas Reed without any particular issue. Should be a fairly short safety car period, although I don't think there's any craneage nearby there. I think they're going to have to get a recovery tractor to the scene of the incident, and that was the incident in question. It wasn't even that heavy of a contact, but I think it may have damaged the suspension on the 41 car because there was no steering available to Jonas Reed after the collision. And he's clutching his wrist a little bit there. And you do sometimes, if you get contact and then a subsequent smash of the barrier, if you're holding onto the steering wheel, that can sometimes hurt your wrist. And hopefully it's nothing too major for Jonas Reed. But we'll see if he can join us again in tomorrow's second race. And indeed the third race to come. 2 races for them bright and early at 9:20 in the morning. Teenagers don't like to wake up early on a Sunday, but no one's told them that here. And 4:30 if you want to join us for race 3 later on. But we've still got a long way to go in this first race of the weekend for the ADAC Formula 4. I'd suspect at least one more lap, or well, it will be at least one more lap under safety car. Whether or not it's just the one is the big question at the moment. Kimi Antonelli leading them around then, a position he's more than familiar with. He's taken 5 wins from 6 so far this year. He came 4th in race 3 at Spa. Of course, partially reversed grid helping the others to that result. 26 minutes left on the clock then, half hour of racing scheduled for this one. Start has been judged okay, incidentally, so good to see that there's no investigations needed for the start of the race. Of course, Charlie Wirtz down in 17th place after our start. You may remember as they came off the line, he simply didn't get underway, and the Austrian driver plummeted to the back of the order. Thankfully, no one collected him. Let's take a look at that start now. Keep an eye on Charlie Wirtz. He's just by the red gantry on pit exit, and there you see, just didn't get off the line, unfortunately. Car bogged down. And thankfully, Wirtz managed to take the start eventually, but he's right down there at the back of the order. Everyone else through somewhat cleanly, at least from what we saw. Michael Sauter didn't get a particularly good start there either. He dropped a couple of positions, but it was another regimental start from Andrea Kimi Antonelli. He must drill these in his spare time because he's always got a great start under his arm. Rafael Camara there in second place as well. Of course, Kamara, who is a rookie this year. The Brazilian driver has been exemplary thus far. He's, of course, part of the Ferrari Driving Academy. They may be teammates at Prema, but they are in separate academies. Andrea Kimi Antonelli signed to the Mercedes Academy. Rafael Kamara had a brilliant season in the UAE Formula 4 Championship over the winter with 6 victories. Took the Rookie Championship as well. Of course, Andrea Kimi Antonelli very much with racing in his DNA. His father, Marco, former racer himself and owner of the Antonelli Motorsport team that we see in numerous competitions across Europe. So then one more lap at least under safety car. And that man, Charlie Wirtz, is probably somewhat thankful for the safety car when you consider that he was a ways off the chasing pack after that start. He didn't get off the line as we saw on the replay. So hopefully we can get this one started or restarted this time by. Incidentally, the collision between cars 41 and 33, that of course being the 33 Brando Badoa, the 41 Jonas Reed, was investigated, and the investigation concluded no further action. So they've decided that there's no need to penalise either party in that one. Of course, Jonas Reed penalised in a sense already. He is out of the race. Badoa still there in 12th place, though. Safety car in this lap, says race control. So we will get back underway this time by. So Antonelli will control the field in just a few corners' time. Raffaele Kamara will be eager to not get left behind here when we go back to green flag conditions. Kamara is a real feisty racer. He doesn't leave anything on the table. So if Antonelli doesn't manage to build a gap between himself and Kamara as they get going, I could see Kamara in the slipstream of Antonelli and charging towards Tarzan if he possibly can alongside Antonelli. Let's wait and see whether Antonelli manages this safety car restart to the optimum. Hard to believe that this young man, Antonelli, who's so successful this season as a mere 15 years old, he really is a young prodigy, and what a signing for the Mercedes Junior outfit. A great team they've placed him in with Prema, and the best evidence of that is the fact that all 4 cars in the top 4 at the moment are Prema, but that could soon be about to change because green flag racing is imminent here. Antonelli warming up the tyres, trying to distract. I expect he'll pull the pin just before they get to the curb on the outside of turn 13. In fact, no, he's holding them a bit longer. Now he goes. He waits until he was halfway through the apex of the corner, and I think he did manage to catch Kamara napping there. Yes, he did. A good 2 or 3 car lengths already in favour of Antonelli as they go back to green flag conditions with just over 21 minutes left on the clock. Fanning out further back, going defensive is Conrad Larson. Near contact between Larson and Wharton. He tries to go around the outside, locking up further back in the order. Nikita Bedrin well wide in the 15 car, but everybody makes it through Tarzan without any particular dramas, which will be the first blessing for these guys on the first lap of the race. They again go 2 or 3 wide through the banking acting as they desired when they reprofiled the circuit ahead of the arrival of Formula 1. And look at this battle further back for 5th position. That's Stenshorn coming under huge pressure from, I believe that was still Meyer Berg there in 6th place. So Meyer having a very, very solid run at the moment for the Iron Dames. And up into 4th place, actually, I should say, has gone Stenshorn. So Stenshorn has moved up to 4th. He's managed to infiltrate the upper ranks of Prema. Let's see if he can get that Van Amersfoort car any further up the order onto the podium. Perhaps that would be ideal. So it is still Meyer Berg there in 6th position. And Bedrin behind her. Charlie Wirtz, meanwhile, picking his way through the order after that woeful start to the race. He's managed to get himself around Michael Sauter. And can he make any inroads on the top 10 potentially? He's had a couple of troubling races so far this year, has young Charlie Wirtz, non-classified in race 2 at Spa. He would be hoping to get some decent points on the board this time. But it's going to be easier said than done in this field, and Stenshorn going defensive as he locks up the brakes. That's going to be very flat-spotted now, isn't it? Stenshorn continuing to hold off Wharton for the time being, and Bedrin going massively defensive on Taylor Barnard further back there in the battle for 7th place. Bedrin and Barnard, of course, 2 drivers out of the PHM Racing outfit. The orange halo on the Bedrin car, the white halo on Barnard, quite easy to spot the difference between them, even when they are practically as one in battle, as we see at the moment. Fittipaldi Jr. in the top 10 as well at the moment in 9th place. He's ahead of Valentin Kloos. So they run through this back section of the circuit for what is the 6th time, through the Masters Box turn 8 already, and into 9 and 10. There's Wharton still in 4th place, so he managed to get it done on Stenshorn eventually. And I imagine Meyer Berg isn't going to be too far off the back of the 34 car in the not too distant future. Meyer will be looking to progress, and I think that was again Charlie Wirtz on the move further back. Wirtz is a man on a mission after that poor start. It wasn't exactly a great qualifying for him either in the mixed conditions. So it's not been an optimal weekend so far, and some moving and shaking further back as Michael Sauter gets demoted there. I believe that was Samir Ben making his way by. Pretty much single file into the first corner this time of asking, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli in his practically insurmountable style already building an advantage. And what a move from Bedrin. Didn't quite get it done, but launched it up the inside there. Meyer Berg, I don't think she saw that one coming until the car was ahead, but then she managed to expertly get back by, and Biron Bakhti around the 26 car. The Thai driver Biron Bakhti in a spin. Now, was that a mistake, or was that the legacy of a collision? We'll have to wait and see. That rear left tyre looks a bit worse for wear after that one as well. And the replay will tell us the story. The 26 car... No, oh yes, there was contact. It was the 25 car, the other party in that one. That was Samir Ben, who had a brilliant overtake just a few corners ago on Michael Sauter. It didn't deter him making another attempt just a few corners later, and unfortunately Biron Bakhti ended up in a collision there. And we had an off while we were looking at those replays of Biron Bakhti. The number 2 car has had a moment there. That's Van Amersfoort Racing's Arius Doikmedjian, the American flagged racer, bringing a lot of gravel onto the circuit there. That won't be something he's thanked for, I'm sure, but well done him, really, keeping the car going in that gravel trap. Once you get embedded in the Zandvoort gravel, there are very few ways out that don't involve a tractor or a crane, so he did a good job there just to keep his foot in it. There's the 20 car then of Conrad Larsen. Larsen has not managed to shake James Wharton at all. Wharton for a little while was of course behind the 34 at Stenshorn, but ever since he's got through back into 4th place, he's been hunting that podium. And Conrad Larsen in the number 20. The Dane is under threat once more. Nikita Bedrin still there behind Meyer Berg as well. I'm sure he's had his one and only attempt at trying to launch up the inside of the Iron Dames car. Now that it's happened once, Berg will be wise to the games, although actually just looking, they have actually had a position change. I didn't catch that one. So Bedrin has managed to go past on this lap somewhere in the first sector. So Nikita Bedrin has indeed got past Meyer Berg, and now Taylor Barnard too. Oh dear, so Meyer Berg has lost 2 places to 2 PHM cars in as many as 2 sectors. 2 cars in 2 sectors. Unfortunately, Meyerberg dropping to 8th place. Next up, she's going to have to defend from Emerson Fittipaldi Jr. Well, I'm sure she'll be more interested in trying to get back past those PHM cars, if at all possible. Just over half distance in the race then, with 15 minutes in the books. And Antonelli with 2.3 seconds already of advantage. You'll be unsurprised to hear that the man at the sharp end of the order also has the fastest lap of the race thus far, a 1 minute 36.701. In fact, I think he is the only driver thus far that has got into the 136s. Yes, he is. Everyone else in the 37s or higher. And Larsen has got around Kamara. Okay, so... Oh, no, sorry, this is Kamara. This is Larsen and Wharton. The Prema cars, all very similarly liveried in 3rd and 4th place. The 13 of Wharton, of course. 2nd among the rookies. 3rd place in the rookie running at the moment is the number 34, Stenshawn, the Van Amersfoort driver, although he won't be scoring rookie points, as I understand. The Van Amersfoort cars invisible to the point standings this weekend. Hopefully we get to see more of them as the season progresses, however. They were meant to be with us at Spa, but as I alluded to earlier on, unfortunately the chassis were delivered very, very late indeed. I think week of the season opener at Spa, the cars arrived in the workshop, and that was never really going to pan out to make sure that A, they were going to be competitive, and B, safe, just to make sure that everything was put together properly. You don't want to rush a job, and Van Amersfoort Racing do not believe in doing so. Charlie Wirtz, though, very much believes in rushing a job, because he's trying to work his way back through the order. Just saw him as we were looking at that overhead shot from the start-finish line, challenging Valentin Klus. He's up to 11th place now, so he's almost on the fringes of that top 10. Of course, the top 10 are the points-paying positions. It is effectively the Formula 1 point-scoring formula here. And so any points will do for Wirtz after the start to the race that he has had, as we continue to look at the battle for 3rd place, and we continue to see James Wharton trying any which way to get around Conrad Larsen, the young Australian competitor who has had 2 non-finishes so far this year, 1 at Spa, 1 at Hockenheim. We know what he's capable of, but so far the results have been mixed. And he'll be looking to capitalise on the machinery that he's got underneath him, of course. The Prema seat is one of the hottest ones in the championship, and Wharton so far has just the 1 podium to his name, but he's right on the verge of 2. He just needs to get around Conrad Larsen. That's rather minimising the task that is. 11 minutes and 40 seconds of the race left to run then, and black and white flag for unsafe rejoin to the number 26 car, Nanavid Birampakdi. Of course, we saw him in a spin at turn 3, and apparently he was judged to be less than safe in how he re-emerged onto the circuit. So these cars through turn 3 once again, this battle for first at Hugenholtz. They go through the Rob Slotemacher bend once again, and now through Schivlak turn 7. There's a gravel trap there that's caught out many a driver over the years. It's a very steep gravel trap, it must be said. You're doing well, in a sense, if you hit the wall there, because there is so much gravel and it's at such a steep incline. But you don't want to be trying to go side by side through there. Wharton hasn't tried it yet, but he's still got 10.5 minutes to do so. Larsen and Wharton continue to be separated by just a couple of tenths of a second, but so far Wharton hasn't had the opportunity necessary. 13 car though looms large in the mirrors. Nikita Bedrin has got through into 5th place off screen. So Nikita Bedrin up into P5. Has got the handle over Stenshorn. However, they were, and now Stenshorn actually is under pressure from Taylor Barnard. So look there for 6th and 7th place in the back of shot. Stenshorn under huge pressure from the 77 car, Taylor Barnard. I don't think Barnard was close enough for a move into Tarzan necessarily, but he's right there in the wheel tracks of the Van Amersfoort driver. Wait with bated breath to see them on screen again. Continue to follow this battle for 3rd place. And this time Wharton is hugely close as they run through Shivlak corner, turn 7. He had the run, certainly, on Larsen, but there wasn't enough track space for both of them. Wharton couldn't find a way alongside. It's a brave, brave young driver that makes a move on the inside of that particular corner. The Shivlak bend turn 7, especially after the Slotermacher S's that come before. I thought we were going to see that out of Wharton for just a few moments. There's Bedoya in the 33. Brando Bedoya, of course, recovering from his role to play in the collision with Jonas Reed that brought out our safety car. He's down in 13th place. There's Charlie Wirtz. He's up into the top 10 now. It's Fittipaldi from Wirtz. We haven't said that in the world of Formula One, but we may do in the future with these two youngsters. Emerson Fittipaldi Jr. in the 9th place for now, just ahead of Charlie Wirtz in cars 17 and 7 respectively. In fact, Wirtz has got past on that lap, so Fittipaldi Jr. has been demoted to 10th position now in the Van Amersfoort car. Charlie Wirtz now has Meyer Werg to consider up ahead. Round the sweeping banking of Hugenholtz goes Charlie Wirtz. Wirtz, who of course is the son of Alex and also the 2022 F4 United Arab Emirates champion. Just about pipped Rafael Camara to the post in that series. 7 minutes and change left to run. And Larsen has just got the fraction of a gap now over Wharton. I say fractional, I mean, you look at the last 3 laps, very well-timed graphic there. Less than a 10th in it on each of the last 3 laps. Very evenly matched drivers at the moment, Larsen and Wharton. Meyer Werg in 8th place. That would be a really strong result for Meyer if she can hold off Charlie Wirtz, but Wirtz has been closing in. The gap between the two was 0.7 of a second last time by. I think it might be a little bit less when they cross the line next time. Oh, a big defensive move there at the last possible opportunity from Conrad Larsen. James Wharton tried to go to the inside at the exact moment that Conrad Larsen went defensive on the inside of Tarzan, and that can often lead to a collision. Thankfully, they just about managed to stay out of each other's way there. And Nikita Bedrin will be loving all of this because he's been closing in hugely on the last couple of laps, and there he is. Bedrin is now firmly a part of this battle. 3-way fight for 3rd place. Nikita Bedrin has capitalised on the scrapping between these two and was almost close enough for a move on Wharton as they went through Shevlak. And now Wharton is going to have to play the defensive game just as much as the offensive. It's been a really solid drive so far from Conrad Larsen to hold on to 3rd place, but he's now got double the drivers trying to get around him. PHM Racing's Nikita Bedrin on a mission, of course. Nikita also ran in this series last year. And he had a really solid run in the season in 2021. Of course, not much data to be used in this season. We've gone to the Generation 2 tattered chassis in the ADAC F4 Championship. out of the hugely banked Harry Luyendijk corner and onto the main straight they go. And let's see if Wharton's close enough again. Very late defending from Conrad Larsen. But he just about made it work. Big scary moment for the driver of the number 13 as he continues to find a way around Conrad Larsen. All the while Nikita Bedrin just waiting with bated breath. Larsen having to make the car wide on the run through Slottermacher. And Bedrin to the inside at turn 7. We've said it already, it's not often you see an overtake through there, but Nikita Bedrin seems to think that it's theoretically possible. No reason why we shouldn't put it into action in the real world. Bedrin with a nice run out of turn 10 there. Crossing over the beam to start sector 3 now. And they're soon going to be joined by Taylor Barnard as well. This queue that's forming behind Conrad Larsen is allowing plenty of other drivers into the mix. On this lap as well, we see it in the back of shot. Charlie Wirtz has got past Meyer Verg, so that's a move up to 8th position for Charlie now. So nicely recovered points for Charlie, who, of course, did not get off the line at the start at all. Now, Conrad Larsen has been very late to defend on the last couple of occasions. This time, I think Wharton was really teasing the move more so than actually trying to make it. And does he get a good run out of Tarzan? Well, yes, but not a good enough one for a move into Gerlach turn 2. Up the inside, though, goes Nikita Bedrin. Well played, Nikita. Up the inside of an unawares James Wharton. Nikita Bedrin up into 4th place then. He's infiltrated the Bremer drivers. And Bedrin pressing on now in P4. Can he make a late break for the podium? This was how it was done. The traditional last-minute dive up the inside at Hugenholtz. Several different ways you can enter that corner and the banking. It really is a block pass. It's kind of almost what you'd see in, say, motocross or something like that. Take the berm on the outside late, make a block pass, and hopefully still have enough momentum to hold the position coming out of the corner. That's exactly what Nikita Bedrin did and exactly what Nikita Bedrin had. 2 minutes and 10 left to go in this race. I believe we're going to have 2 more laps at the end of this one, as Antonelli is about to cross the line to begin what will be the penultimate lap. And so here comes Nikita Bedrin. Conrad Larsen has had his teammate for company for much of the race. It's now someone from a rival garage. PHM Racing's Nikita Bedrin could be on the verge of a podium here. Charlie Wirtz trying to get around Stenshorn, who locks up massively into Tarzan. And he's run it wide. Oh, it was always inevitable to lose the position after that, wasn't it? Stenshorn not able to get the car turned in with the front right tyre under rotating, and Charlie Wirtz is up into 7th position. Very good recovery drive this from Charlie Wirtz. He's had 4 top 5s so far this year. I don't think he's going to make it a 5th top 5 in this one. But all told, any point scoring position after falling to dead last is a job well done. And there we see a replay of how Charlie moved himself up into 7th place. Meanwhile, a spin further back. That's the 33 car. That's Bedoya. Brando Bedoya just losing traction there and almost catching out his Van Amersfoort teammate in the process. Jules Castro did a very good job of avoiding the Van Amersfoort car there. That would have been heart in the mouth for both parties. Incident between cars 13 and 15 noted. Now that's Bedrin and Wharton. I am unawares of quite what said incident would be. final lap board is displayed then, and Larsen goes defensive early. Nikita Bedrin then to the outside, and he tries to go all the way around the outside at Tarzan. He doesn't quite do it though. There's cement dust and stuff down on the outside of the corner. Grip is hard to come by on the outside of Tarzan this afternoon. Bedrin takes the wider line through the banked section at Hugenholtz. No investigation needed between car 13 and 15, so they've changed their mind there. And here comes the 15. Here comes Bedrin, all over the curbs and the grass, trying to get to the inside of Conrad Larsen. He wants that podium, but I don't think it's quite going to go his way there. That may have been the last opportunity. Will he find another chance before the end of this, the final lap? Bedrin was very brave there and very lucky that the car didn't snap from underneath him. I'd say that Larsen's lucky that didn't happen to Bedrin either. While it's been a race of dramatic proportions for the battle for third, it's been nothing short of a Sunday drive, albeit on a Saturday, for Andrea Kimi Antonelli. The number 12 car was our pole sitter and has led ever since, controlled the gap over Raffaele Camara, and once again, the Mercedes Junior, the conquering force of Formula 4 in 2022, has another big trophy to go into the cabinet. Race one of the weekend in Zandvoort. Andrea Kimi Antonelli will extend his championship lead further. Raffaele Camara second home in the first of the rookies, and Conrad Larsen does just about hold on to third place to make it a Prema lockout on the podium. Nikita Bedrin takes fourth place. Wharton eventually took fifth, even though Taylor Barnard was closing in. Charlie Vert's car number 7 eventually in seventh place, which is more than maybe he would have thought he could get at turn 1, lap 1. Stenshorn in 8th place. He rounds out the rookie podium. Second of the rookies was Wharton in the 13 car. Meyer Berg eventually in 9th place. Rounding out the top 10, though, the 17, Emo Fittipaldi Jr. There's our race winner, Andrea Kimi Antonelli. He's drawing a lot of attention, even as low down the single-seater ladder as Formula 4. People are touting him as a potential Formula 1 driver and a potential star of the next generation. And as these measured, dominant performances continue to roll in, the case against that thinking gets ever harder to justify. Antonelli, the Mercedes Junior, just 15 years old, is our race winner once again. Rafael Camara, the Ferrari Junior, in second place. Conrad Larsen in third. Nikita Bedrin, fourth position, ahead of James Wharton. Taylor Barnard in sixth. Charlie Verts seventh. And Martinius Stenshorn rounding out the top 8. A good run for the Norwegian driver. He certainly had a few battles over the course of that race. Ninth place then was Meyer Berg on home territory, taking 9th place. She'll be looking to continue upon what was good form in that one. Emerson Fittipaldi Jr. rounding out the top 10 ahead of Valentin Klus. Yutsami's in 12th, Michael Sauter in 13th. Dirk Medjian in 14th place. Samir Ben, of course, had that collision with Biron Bakhti. 15th and 16th, they ended up ahead of Castro Badoa, who had a spin late on. And Jonas Reed, of course, ending up in the barriers on lap number 1. Antonelli, his celebrations are becoming a little more muted as the season goes on. He's already getting used to this whole victory malark, isn't he? Andrea Kimi Antonelli, certainly a star of the future. One of those people, much like Fittipaldi, much like Verts, who has grown up in the motor racing environment. Of course, the Antonelli Motorsport team is his family team. And they run numerous championships across Europe. There is Larsen, the driver with AF Corsa backing. And celebrations abound, I'm sure, for Prema. Another highly successful weekend for Prema Power Team. I'm sure Antonelli will be on top form again tomorrow. 2 more races to come. Of course, we had 2 qualifying sessions this morning. Antonelli will be on top again for race number 2, and then race 3 is a partially reversed grid, so it'll be a little harder for him. Although that didn't stop him actually in qualifying, or rather in Hockenheim last time out. There is Andrea Kimi Antonelli posing for the pictures. And having some conversations there with the Prema team, or perhaps the photographers. I'm not quite sure whom he's chatting to at the moment, but another great result for Antonelli. Championship lead was 28 points. It's now going to be well over 30. Should be 35 points after this one. Conrad Larsen in the 20 car, taking 3rd place. Certainly the hardest fought driver on the podium. He had to work hard for his silverware today. Rafael Camara taking 2nd position. A fairly lonely race, all told, for the 88 driver, but more solid points on the scoreboard. That will suit him just fine. Andrea Kimi Antonelli back on the podium once again. 6 podiums from 7 races in the ADAC F4 Germany Championship. And would you believe it? All 6 of those podiums have been victories. So we will see the podium in just a few moments for these drivers. Clearly coordinated before coming up here. Look, they're all in matching outfits. Who'd have thought it? The Prema Racing guys once again with the edge over the chasing pack this weekend. Conrad Larsen. That is a well-deserved 3rd place. Whether it was Bedrin, whether it was Wharton, Conrad Larsen was under a lot of pressure there. Good defensive driving. 2nd place then for Rafael Camara, the young Brazilian racer. Once again on the podium in this one. He has had a podium in all but 1 race this year as well. Has been 2nd 4 times, now make it 5 times to that man, Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Here's the National Anthem. Oh, no, sorry, wrong order. We're going to do the presentation of the representative from Prema, and now we'll have the National Anthem. There you go, the Italian anthem for Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and of course for the team as well. And here comes the podium presentation. Eric Viges from Zandvoort Circuit presenting the trophy to Andrea Kimi Antonelli. And Mano Vida, another one of the Zandvoort crew, presenting the 2nd place trophy to Rafael Camara. And finally, rounding out the presentations from the ADAC, Andreas Bachmeier. There you go. They will now pose for the pictures, and since they don't have to get back into those race suits today, I expect that in a few moments we will see some liberal spraying of the bubbly stuff. There's the rookie class trophy handed over to Raffaele Camara as well. More silverware than arms if he's not too careful. The trophy for the teams, of course, presented to the Prema representative. And a familiar sight in the world of the ADAC Formula 4 Germany in all Prema top three. A commanding championship lead now for the young man in the center of screen, Andrea Kimi Antonelli. And now, as the photographer very wisely saves his lens for another day, the bubbly is sprayed. And I'm sure it will be a positive debrief in the camp for Prema. As you see the points on screen there, just 10 in it between Antonelli and Camara.